Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Non-Toxic PVE Banov. Today, this is me, just spawned in. Today I'm going to be showing you how to start as a fresh spawn and get to having your first car as quickly as possible. Let me just remove my death marker. Now I know some players are having a bit of difficulty because Non-Toxic, along with several other servers, has a 0 cash starting amount, which means even if you run to the traders, a bug catcher, you're not going to be able to buy anything. So what we're going to do is, what I'm going to show you is how to survive and how to earn money in order. I've just used all my rags for gloves. This is the problem when you're talking and not paying attention. Now, there is a clothing trader 1.5 kilometers inside the city. Here, and we are here. And what most fresh spawns do, we'll take this so we can turn it into rags. What most fresh spawns do is they head, oh fantastic, we just need some way of opening it, is they head straight to the clothing trader, and by the time they get there they're absolutely starving, and then they discover that without money they can't buy food. There is food available there at every trader on Non-Toxic, but you need money. Yeah, you can go around selling clothes until you've got enough, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do, oh, it's some food, fantastic. I'm going to show you the basics on how to get your survival necessities sorted and how to start earning enough money to be able to buy a car, because basically once you buy a car, life becomes 1,000 times easier. What we're going to be doing is working on the principle of Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. Fantastic. Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs is basically a pyramid where the base of it, the biggest part, is your absolute necessities. And this is true in all survival situations, and DayZ is a survival game. You need to fulfill food, water and warmth in order to survive. Once you have those sorted, you can then concentrate on making money and then buying a car, building a base. But you always have to make sure your basic survival needs are fulfilled. Now DayZ is slightly different in that you also need some form of self-protection, preferably in the form of a gun. But first of all, we'll be concerning ourselves with the basics. Now, on Non-Toxic, there are lots and lots of collectibles. For example, this book, The Walking Dead, which goes for about 1,000 or 1,500. And we can sell this all the way over here at the collector, which is about 7 kilometers away. But if you look at our loot space, we have virtually nothing. And if we start filling it with books and magazines, we're not going to have enough space for our basic necessities, which at the moment are food, water and warmth. Everything is available here for you to loot. You don't need to buy it. So we're going to loot ourselves to a good situation. Let's find my location. And then, once we'll head in this direction, see what's over here. Once we're stable, food, water and clothing wise, we'll then start upgrading. Because the next level we should be going for is loot spaces. So we can pick up. We'll take that. Now we have a blade. Once you have loot spaces, you can pick up collectibles, because in truth, oh, here we go, we got a shotgun. Just need some ammo. There is no point in running 7 kilometers there and back to the collector to sell a single book. You need a whole stack of them. On non-toxic, there is MMG gear, and to buy it is very, very expensive. But you can find it. And MMG gear has lots of loot spaces. So first of all, we're going to get ourselves sorted, and then we're going to start looking for a gun and for some high loot capacity clothing, also some warmer clothing, because we're freezing and we're going to get ill. And once you get ill on DayZ, your life just becomes trying to find a hospital and medication. It sucks. Right, I can hear a little Z somewhere here. And let's see what's in this. We may actually be leaving the city and going into the villages. Nice. And fantastic. We may be heading out into the villages because there's better chance of finding greenhouses and sheds, and we'll need those for food and for just basic necessities. Always check backpacks and clothing, and also Zeds. Alright, our first real gun. Now my play style may be quite different to a lot of you, because I spend a lot of time in early game creeping around the place. I prefer not to directly come into conflict with the Zeds until I'm going to win those sort of situations. Because I like to play DayZ as if this is how I would act in a survival or post-apocalyptic situation. And one thing you learn is you do not take unwarranted risks. If you get infected from fighting a Zed, if you break a leg, your game, I prefer that, no, I'll keep the red one, then your game becomes something completely different. And in real life, It's literally YOLO. You only live once. You're not going to take ridiculous risks in a survival situation because you can die or cause yourself such damage that survival just becomes absolute misery. Now, early game, we have to be very picky about what we're picking up. Ah, fantastic. Strawberry jam. Probably the best food in the game. Honey gives you food but dehydrates you. Strawberry jam gives you food and water. Ah, box nails. Box nails can be sold 5,000 a piece at building and components. But as you can see, it's like over 12 kilometers to the far north, across mountains and forest, filled with bears and wolves. So we're not going to be going up there yet. But already we've got 5,000 on us. Let's celebrate with some strawberry jam. Remember, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Food, water, warmth through clothing or shelter. I've just eaten way too much. Again, I was talking, I wasn't paying attention. Now, ideally, we will find a vanilla car and we could do it up and drive it off into the distance for a romantic ending. Vanilla cars do spawn all over the map, but not in great numbers. Plus, they spawn without wheels, battery, radiator, spark plug, anything. It's just a shell. And in order to rebuild one, you're going to need loot spaces.